Hello once again. So my dad texted me and told me Bendy that Bendy and the Dark Revival came out with like archives, whatever you call it. I don't know. But yeah, they came out with that and I just wanted to get my reaction with you guys. So it's right here. Yeah. Let's just do this because I wanted to like do this with you. Whoa. Okay, but yeah. So oh. Well, okay. Welcome to the archives. Bendy and the Dark Revival is filled with numerous characters that each had a critical role to play in the progression of the game. Here in the archives, you will learn a little bit more about them up close and personal way. Feel free to explore. Oh god, Bendy. Bendy, the iconic imp, was redesigned for Dark Revival to stand out a bit from his traditional cartoon appearance by giving him a suit of clothes. He he posed some minor challenges, specifically creating a face that sported the classic Bendy eerie smile, but he still managed to be heartwarming in the right conditions. He is a fan favorite, so his design had to be just right. During the production, we originally contrasted the dark, low voice of the Ink Demon, but this turned out to be very distracting, and the idea was scrape pretty early on. Okay. All right. Wilson. Well, oh. Okay. Wilson was a difficult character to balance. At first, the players are purposely led to believe he is a one-note character, obviously evil with an over-the-top villain personality. But as the story progresses, we see other sides of the character, and the player becomes mud, mud, muddled there with who this man really is. In one draft, Wilson was written as a servant of Nathan Arch Jr. A separate character at the time, but the story made far more sense when the two characters became one, eliminating a lot of Needle's narrative. Okay, Audrey cartoon. Audrey is a kind-hearted rogue with courage, determination, some flaws, and a deep, dark past. To make our story short, we did a newcomer to the cartoon studio world, and Audrey was the perfect fresh eyes to help the adventure. From day one of production, we knew that if people didn't connect with Audrey by the end of the game itself wouldn't be successful. Fortunately, she turned out to be quite memorable and stands out from the other members of the cast. Porter, as the cycle was held in place and with the influence of the Ink Demon held at bay, the cartoon world was able to grow and advance, creating such characters as Porter, Lost One, who came to claim a new identity as an explorer. Porter was written with the knowledge that Dark Revival would feature a far more serious tone than the first game of Bendy and the Ink Machine, and his light-hearted innocence would help the player feel some warmth is in this inky world of sorrow. Heidi. It is believed that Heidi has spent some time in the pit prison set up by Wilson and the Keepers. It is unclear why, but mostly likely she was able to access places she shouldn't have. The experience in the pit had changed her, as it does many, reverting her into a childlike state, longing for happiness again. Okay. Sammy Lawrence, the famous music composer of the studio. Sammy Lawrence originally had a slightly larger role in the story of Dark Revival, but the story already filled with so many characters, making them all play a meaningful part became a challenge. He was ultimately sidelined in favor of telling a more coherent storyline, although it is interesting to note that Sammy Lawrence appears to have mastered the flow ability in Bendy and the Ink Machine long before Porter and Audrey welded. Oh, Alice Angel. Self-appointed queen of the studio, Alice Angel is one of the most memorable faces in the Bendy world. Forever lost in a tide of insanity, she is an absolute delight to write for as a character. An angel with many layers, time will tell if this ink dress will ever reappear. Lord Amok, ruler of a sewer cult, Lord Amok illustrates how the world of the ink had continued to develop into different societies deep within the darkest places. Though he was weak in a fight, his name will simply never die. Ship ahoy, Dudley. Dudley, whatever. The demented invention of Wilson, created to serve the dual purpose of dethroning the ink demon in the cartoon world, and also upstaging Joey Drew in the eyes of Wilson's father, Nathan Arch. Neither of these happened. Ship ahoy, Dudley is a mysterious sailor with his own eerie grin, similar to that of Ben. Along with his sidelet Crackle the Crab, it is unknown just what kind of cartoon adventures they would have had together. King Widow. Ink widows have begun to infest where the light grows darkness. The biggest and most feared will only emerge from his nest when its young are threatened. Lurker. The Lurker, or Steve, as he came to be known, was originally created as a brute type enemy that would free roam the way lost ones, but ultimately felt unnecessary as the random ink demon encounters already fulfilled the role of putting in the player on edge while exploring previous traversed locations. In the end, Lurker found it much better calling as an unlikely ally, effectively expanding him into more than just a typical enemy. There should be, yeah, there's. Okay. The Keepers, Wilson's deadly guards and scientists. They aren't perfect, but the Keepers will get the job done no matter the cost. They are responsible for pressing aside a smaller form, keeping his power sealed away until Audrey came along and unknowingly changed the situation. Keepers were visually designed to reflect the dangers and evils in the ink machine itself. Faceless beings made of gears and wires with no sense of morality. ordered around like a castle, a creation living without purpose. Butcher Gang. Farley, Charlie, and Edgar, three original members of the Butcher Gang, were formed from the ink machine deconstructed by Alice Angel for body parts, and bond together to stay alive with sneak attacks on their prey. In Dark Revival, we meet artificial fourth member of the gang, Carly, Ghost Girl. Although when you begin to examine her closely, Carly appears a shell with perhaps someone inside. Butcher Gang. Whoa. Okay. Farley, Carly, and Edgar, the three Butcher Gang. Wait. Yeah, this is Carly. Her original. I think this is Edgar. That's Farley and that's Carly. Okay. Alright. Beast Bendy. Turning for the climax of Dark Revival, Beast Bendy also was revisited with the mindset of making him far more powerful and beast-like. Traditionally, in most horror games, they tend to build to a point where the main villain becomes a final form monster as a final boss. It's practically a trope. Or our idea, what if you got to play as that final form instead? Ink Demon. As the world of Dark Revival became more complex and established, we realized the Ink Demon's design needed a complete rethink to match our new tone. Previous versions of his appearance looked absolutely silly when we placed in the world alongside the other characters. No amount of creepy music or screen effects would conceal how out of place he looked. The Ink Demon needed to look different than everything else in the world, show a natural progression of the Ink Demon's evolution as Wilson held the cycle. Okay. Wow, this one's like way taller. Joey Drew, Memory. Man, the legends, the memory. Creating this version of Joey Drew was both an exciting and daunting process. It was clear from the start that this Joey would be different from the one from the original Bendy and the Ink game. This was a man with all the guilt from a past life. But without the experience to fully understand it, the real Joey Drew made many mistakes, but ultimately you learn from them. This doesn't absolve him of his sins, but at the end of his life, he was able to correct some of them and help fight the darkness he created. Okay. Betty, a faithful maid, among other things to Wilson. Betty was an important character of the story of Dark Revival. As a failed experiment and someone relatively new to the cartoon studio, she was able to give a somewhat different point of view on the state of the world. We have purposefully left it unclear if Betty was on Wilson's plot harvest Audrey or if she just a bystander. Behind her mask, there are still answers. Whoa. Audrey's donut. No, you can't have it, Audrey. Whoa. Nathan Arch. Nathan Arch was everything Joey Drew wasn't. He worked hard, built up from nothing, and never compromised his integrity. Joey had big dreams, but Nathan accomplished his own dreams. He and his wife, Tessa, raised a son as much love and care as they could, despite Nathan's career pressure. Sadly, his son did not share Nathan's natural talent for business and enterprise. Oh, okay. Caution. Okay. Audrey, the unknowing daughter of an animation pioneer. Audrey has blocked out the memory of her past after losing her father, but his role in her life was not over. Talented animator and Hills landed a job at Archgate. Was it fate that led her to reunite with Joey Drew's machine of her birth, or was it Wilson? Haunted by the impossible shadow of Nathan March, Wilson sought to achieve something that would make his father proud. By luck, he stumbled upon the ink machine and was able to become the cartoon world's master. Holding the cycle in place, experiments that not fully be realized until the ink pen was perfect. However, unnaturally entering to and through and from the ink realm has taken a toll. Wilson's physical being, slowly robbing him of his. I don't know if that's all of it. Nope, there's more. Okay. We are almost done. We're doing the machine last because that's the best. Cycle breakers. Okay. Henry Stein. The original cycle breaker, Henry Stein, is the ghost of a man who lost his purpose years ago. Once fueled with finding a way to escape the tortures of the ink, finding his way home to his wife, Henry is now left with the cold reality of being a recreation of the person he thought he was. Saved as a special surprise for fans of the Bendy and the Ink Machine game, Henry strictly omitted all the public discussion of the character during the entire production, which spanned several years, but Henry returned very satisfying face. That is Henry. I cannot. Allison. Returning for another victory over the Ink Demon, Alice is always the voice of a beacon of hope. Allison's design was carefully upgraded from the version Bendy machine. The game maintained her personality, but with more fidelity. The purpose of meeting Allison so early in the campaign was to introduce the player to a face after the main intro. At the start, Allison was able to serve as the motivating force for Audrey until the true plot kicked later. Yes. Oh, it's not showing me. Okay, Tom. Tom is Allison's silent protector and the only Boris clone involved in the story. Where is Boris the wolf? Rumor has it that during the events of the game, Boris is a dark survival story of his own. Oh yeah, he is. He has Boris and Dark Survival. Well, Boris and Dark Survival. I don't know. I forgot what it was because now, time for this bad boy. Okay. Y'all ready for this? Oh. Okay, the Ink Machine, designed by Thomas Connor of the Gent Corporation, stolen by Joey Drew, retrieved by Archgate, and once again reclaimed by Gent. The Machine's next adventure is the fact that I don't think we saw this game. guy? Is there anything else at all? Oh, wow. I think that is it. This is a short video. Well, not really, because it's like long. Well, yeah, I just wanted to show you all this, because, yeah, hey, yeah, this was awesome, because you get to see them without them, like, trying to kill you, or running away, but still, this is absolutely incredible. I'm glad they set this out, because, I was hoping for one of these, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go back now. Okay, that is gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, because I thought that the game was the last thing that was gonna be there, but then my dad texted me and showed me this picture, and I was like, oh my god, I need to see it now. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. This is now the end of Bendy and the Dark Revival, Bendy and the Machine, all that. I think this is the last game they're gonna do. If not, I will be proud to play the next one. I will see you in the next video. Bye!